Chapter 4. Eating Yellowjackets. In time, Eddie's next two brothers were born, Greg and Gray. Although they weren't twins, they could have been. One was born practically on the heels of the other. Now that there were 7 people in the family, they had to look for more economical ways to take vacations. Dad had been a Boy Scout leader when his sons were very young. He used to teach his scouts to live off the land, and he would impress them by eating Granddaddy Longlegs alive. Since the family couldn't afford Disneyland, their dad would take them camping. Every summer, he would pack up the old tent, plan a menu, load up the car, and head off to a state park. One place in particular was called Carolina Hemlocks. It was alongside a crystal-clear mountain creek that was just a little too cold to swim in, even for a bunch of burr-headed boys. It was bordered by towering hemlock trees whose feathery branches whispered in the night wind. Those were some wonderful times. The family would sit around the fire at night, Eddie's dad whittling a piece of red cedar, and they would listen to him tell stories. He had a regular character, old Herbert Rabbit, who vaguely resembled himself and was a bit of a rascal that was always getting into jams. One morning, Eddie and the boys emerged from their sleeping bags and crawled out of the tent, hungry as little bears. Their dad hunkered over the campfire, turning scrambled eggs in a camp skillet. While the boys waited, he suggested they toast a piece of bread. That was great fun, but now what were they to put on it? He pointed them in the direction of the jelly jar. Unfortunately, someone, probably little Eddie or one of his brothers, had left off the lid all night long, and the jar was full of Yellowjackets, an ornery yellow and black wasp. Now most of them had drowned in the grape jelly, but not all. "Ew," yelled Eddie. "Disgusting," agreed his little brothers. "What?" came the voice of their dad. "What's wrong?" "This jelly is full of bees." "What's wrong with that?" asked their father. "Probably full of protein." And with that, he picked up a piece of toast, slathered it with Yellowjacket jelly, and took a big bite. He smiled and chewed with relish. He swallowed, and then he took another bite. "Not a thing wrong with that," he declared, and left his boys staring after him, jaws dropped, eyes bugged. Well, maybe their father was right, but no one hurried to try the new delicacy.